Well, hey everybody, it's Adam. Adam IncrediBerry. Berry Smooth. The BERRYO my. The outspoken introvert. The double wide on a dirt road Democrat. The sarcastic progressive with a southern accent. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to Laugh with IncrediBerry. You know, I get told all the time by Republicans, conservatives, by MAGA, by patriots, that I have a problem, and they know exactly what my problem is. And my problem is actually two things. It's a twofer. It's a buy one, get one, a BOGO. See, the first part of my problem is that I've been asleep for too damn long. And the second part of the problem is that I'm, wait for it, woke. So I need to wake up, but I'm also woke. I need to wake up, but I don't need to be woke. It's good when you wake up, but it's bad when you're woke. So I've been asleep for too damn long, but I'm also woke. But if I'm not woke, then I'm asleep. So I need to wake up, but I don't need to be woke. But I've been asleep, so I need to wake up. And if I wake up, that's good. But if I'm woke, that's wrong. Wake up, but don't be woke. Don't be woke, but I need to wake up. Well, that makes about as much sense as a no-mouth dog in a frisbee contest. I need to wake up. That's my problem. But my problem is also that I'm woke. What kind of verbal diarrhea do we have going on here? Wake up, but don't be woke. Watching MAGA run circles around anything and everything to avoid the damn point is exhausting, and it does guarantee that I will wake up because it makes me sleepy as hell. But then after I wake up, I'll be woke. I'm so confused. I mean, I've heard it, you've heard it, we've all heard it. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. All the problems today are because of woke. We must destroy it. All the woke people need to wake up. But what the fuck is woke? What is it about that word that deems everything that is woke a threat? What, can anyone give a definition of woke and why it is so threatening and detrimental to the fabric of our nation? Well, lucky for us, lawyers for Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, I had to give a definition of woke in court during a lawsuit. Finally, we can know. Finally, we can have an answer. Finally, we can learn what is woke and why is it so harmful. Their answer was woke is the belief that there are systemic injustices in America and the need to address them. What? Woke means bad shit happens and we need to correct said bad shit? Why is that such a boogeyman? Why is that the Freddy Krueger of political terms? I mean, Freddy comes for you when you're asleep, so you do need to wake up. But now he's going to come for you if you're woke too? The fuck? I don't understand why believing that there are systemic injustices that need to be corrected is wrong when this whole ass country was founded on systemic injustices. So woke is believing that there are systemic injustices that need to be fixed, and woke is bad. Woke is bad. So bad that we need to ban everything that could be associated with it, including real historical facts, because woke is bad. And it might make some people feel bad because they would identify with the people who committed the systemic injustices for some damn reason. So let's ban woke, whatever that is, so people don't know that there are systemic injustices. Wait a motherfucking minute. Ain't that A systemic injustice? I believe it's a systemic injustice to not allow truth to be known about systemic injustices and to just turn our heads and pretend they don't exist rather than do the right thing and work to correct them. Wait, am I double woke now? For the record, I don't call myself woke. I don't like to call myself woke. That's a label, and I don't like labeling myself. I'm just me. I'm just Adam. The only time I say I'm woke is when I'm messing with right wingers. That's the only time. Calling yourself woke can be seen as performative, and even if your intentions are good, because calling yourself woke doesn't mean shit if you're not doing the shit. So calling yourself woke can be seen as performative, just like ally. And I don't like to say that I'm any of that. The minute you label yourself, people start looking for a way to tear it down, to look for cracks, to find a weak spot and start chipping away. I don't play that shit. I'm just me. I'm just Adam. Take it or leave it. I tend to think that my actions say enough about me. And if somebody else wants to call me an ally or whatever, so be it. It is not my job to label myself. It is my job to be true to myself and to continue to learn and do better and listen and grow and speak when needed and act when needed and to know my place in this pyramid scheme we call life. I will speak in support of marginalized groups, but never speak for them. I will stand side by side with them, but never in front of them. I will hold myself accountable and my people, my community accountable. I'm not marginalized, so I will never tell them what their issues are. I don't know. I've never been there. I never lived it. But I do know the issues that lie in my community with my people. Nobody will ever nobody or nothing will ever get fixed or get better if we don't start with our own. I can't tell somebody else to clean their house when mine is filthy. That's why I don't label myself. Plus, my community, my people who look like me, but they're right wing, they already label me. They label me a virtue signaler or a race traitor or a snowflake or a sheep or woke. That's why they say I need to wake up. The term woke has been around like 100 years. The first known use of it as a politically conscious, socially conscious term was actually in 1923. Well, that was actually wake up, which is what I'm told to do, but not be woke. Woke was first used in 1938. Leadbelly used the phrase "stay woke" in his song "The Scottsboro Boys" about the true story, the 1931 case of the Scottsboro Boys. 9 black teenagers accused of raping a white woman. It's a horrific part of our history, so I'm pretty sure it's banned for people to learn now. For the large majority of time since its inception, since its start, woke or stay woke has been used in explicit association with black Americans need to be aware of racially motivated threats and the potential dangers of white America. When you live somewhere that was founded and continues to be dominated by white supremacy, then it's a legitimate concern to those who might be harmed by that social structure, i.e., non-white people. I guess that's why woke is so bad. It toes the line with critical race theory. And we all know how dangerous CRT is to our precious little white kids. For some reason, I'm thinking it probably has something to do with white supremacy being embedded in our social structure. But what do I know? I still need to wake up. Duh. For some reason, we put more emphasis on little Brakelin Reese or Levi Walker feeling bad about being white than we do about our long, horrid history of race relations in the good old red, white, and blue. To some people, people who don't look like me, the people who are usually on the receiving end of systemic injustices, to those people, when someone like me, you know, a cisgendered, straight white man who benefits from white privilege and has had every opportunity basically handed to me, and I know white people will argue that that's not real. I know they'll say white privilege isn't real, that they've worked hard for everything they've got, that nothing was given to them. I'm not diminishing your work ethic, boo-boo. I'm not saying nothing about that. But when you started the game, the score was 0-0. To the other people, when the game started, there was time off the clock and they were down 50 points. But when people like me claim to be woke, it's usually just performative. Like I said, it's usually just a way just to say, hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. I'm one of the good ones. I'm on your side without actually having to do anything else. When in reality, just claiming to be woke, when someone like me just claims to be woke, is actually doing the exact opposite. You're doing exactly what white people have done for centuries. Taking something from the black community and making it your own. It's just another form of cultural appropriation. So by you doing this to prove you're against what, so since when you do this, so by you doing this to prove that you're against that, you're actually in a way doing something, although it's small, that you say you're against. You can stand with and support marginalized groups without taking it over and making it all about yourself. We've got to do better at that. We are all guilty of that, myself included. I've done it before, and I will probably do it again without knowing. But the difference is that when I'm told that I did that, I listen and I learn, because that's what you're supposed to do. I listen and I learn and I try to grow from it. Some of my community, some of my people don't do that. They get mad. They get defensive. They act like they aren't appreciated and just walk away, which just proves it was all performative and another form of white privilege. Victims of systemic injustice don't get to just walk away. You didn't get the appreciation you thought you deserved, so you'll take your support somewhere else. Just another version of, well, it went woke, so I got to go with this other thing from now on. Such Karen behavior. On the other side, on the right-wing side, people took woke and they did what they always did. They turned it into something bad. We've seen it throughout history, time after time after time. During the Civil Rights Movement, people started saying black power. So people who didn't like that said that was communist and anti-white, and they started white power. The 1619 Project is somehow seen as an insult and as something to mock now. Black Lives Matter became once again an anti-white sentiment, and it spawned All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. Every little sentiment that seeks to move towards equality, towards inclusion, towards all men being created equal is turned on its head and eventually becomes a dog whistle for white supremacy, a bug that needs to be stomped out. Unfortunately, sometimes literally. But throughout history, white people have taken words, sometimes words that they just picked, and sometimes they will take black vernacular and turn it around. Since that's the words that black people have used, now that word is bad. And it can be a dog whistle to something that is bad. You know, urban, inner city, black children are at risk, underserved, and fatherless. If you're talking about parents of black children, low income, welfare dependent, they live in democratic strongholds, but they're also socialists and low information voters, taught critical race theory by Marxists, and they're anti American. The neighborhoods are sketchy and depressed, ghetto. They're filled with thugs and transients, Section 8, renters, employable only through affirmative action and diversity and quotas. If they play a sport, then they are just naturally gifted, ungrateful, intimidating, and somehow they're both aggressive and lazy. I don't know how that works. And then there's CRT, critical race theory, the other all-inclusive boogeyman besides woke. You have black teachers and black administrators or black school board members. That's CRT. Black authors in your curriculum, CRT. Black History Month, CRT. You happen to teach a version of American history that doesn't praise how amazing America is, that's CRT. If history includes the bad with the good, if it's all history, that's CRT. If your history is more than just Lee Greenwood lyrics and eagles flying and finger painting with only red, white, and blue, CRT. Soon CRT will be blamed for everything. The original creepy movie version of Sonic the Hedgehog, CRT. The NCAA transfer portal, CRT. The housing market, CRT. Last year, this is a true story. Last year, my son and his friend got sent to the principal's office for taking up for one of their friends who happened to be trans. And while they were waiting, they were sitting there with the vice principal of the school, and they were discussing another person they knew. They were discussing their pronouns, and the vice principal looked up and said, "Hey, we are not here to discuss critical race theory. Pronouns. Pronouns are critical race theory now." But woke, I believe, is the granddaddy of them all. The grand poobah. It's a word so vague that it can be applied to just about anything. Anything can be called woke, and that's all the right has to hear. Oh, it must be bad. It's woke. It must be horrible. Let's get rid of it before it infects our youth and spreads like the plague. I mean, these people would not do shit to help stop the spread of COVID, but they'll work nonstop around the clock to stop woke. And that's where this shit gets dangerous. I mean, fuck, Ron DeSantis introduced a whole ass bill called the Stop Woke Act. Of course, in this instance, woke is an acronym. Stop woke means stop wrongs to our kids and employees, which is laughable, but at least a little bit creative. Being woke roughly means speaking out against racism, speaking out against discrimination. So it must be stopped. In his little rabble-rouser speech, DeSantis said, we must fight the woke in our schools. We must fight the woke in our businesses. We must fight the woke in our government agencies. We can never, ever surrender to woke. The state of Florida is where woke comes to die. Or goes to die. Either way, woke must die. That statement, that indictment, that quote is precisely why this shit has gotten dangerous. We must fight the woke. We can never ever surrender to the woke. Woke must die? What? They have declared whatever is woke is the enemy. And if it's woke, it's something that needs to be eradicated. It needs to be exterminated. It needs to be erased from the fabric of life. It's the woke versus the people who say they need to wake up. To them, woke is a disease. Woke is a cancer. Woke is an incurable thing that needs to be stomped out. They described ones infected with this incurable disease as having wokeism, as a mind virus, an intolerant and moralizing ideology. Being woke is a cruel and dangerous cult. I mean, woke might have started off as a call to black people to stay socially conscious and for others to be aware of systemic injustices, but the right have turned it around to where woke is the actual injustice. What the fuck? Like, They have, as always, turned themselves into the victim by using dog whistles and good old-fashioned fear-mongering. Woke may have began as a race thing, but once the right saw the light, once they realized how much they're basically conned into thinking of as woke it's the enemy, then they begin to spread the term out and about to whatever they deemed wrong. It sets a perilous precedent. It really does. If you know that you can assign a single one-word description to anything, and your base will instantly know that it's the enemy, as if they're made to bark like a dog at a lunch hypnotist show, then that's a snowball in hell ready to roll downhill. Most everybody knows the early warning signs of fascism, right? I mean, if not, Google it, learn it, memorize it, watch it play out in real time. The right has this problem with checking off every single box on the warning sign list while saying it's the left who are actually doing these things. It's the left who are actually displaying signs of fascism. Yes, it's the left. The left are the ones who are calling themselves nationalists and are obsessed with national security and are trying to intertwine government and religion. Yeah, you cracked the code, you caught us. But no, one of the early warning signs is identifying a common enemy as a unifying cause. Making sure you name your enemy and rally your people around the hatred of the enemy. Well, if your enemy is woke, then it's super duper easy. You don't have to explain anything, no long-winded explanation, no diagram or handbook to explain the enemy. Just say, it's woke. It went woke. No matter what it is, label it woke and watch the overcompensatriots exhaust themselves with hatred for something that, even though they truly don't know why, they know it must be gone because it went woke. If only whatever the woke person or thing is, if only they could wake up, they too would see that woke is the bad guy. I mean, if something bad happens, it's called, to them, if something bad happens, it's cause who or what the bad thing happened to, it's cause it went woke. If something good happens, then whoever or whatever the good thing happened to is because they fought the woke. They never gave in to wokeism. Actual history being taught? Woke. Gender identity? Woke. Being a decent, respectful person when it comes to pronouns? Woke as fuck. Wanting children to stay alive through school? Woke. Not wanting schools to be reminiscent of prisons with armed guards roaming the hallways? Woke and un-American. Nothing says freedoms like guns in schools, am I right? Embracing equality? Woke. Diversity? Woke. Climate change, wanting to leave the planet better when we leave than when we got here? Woke. If a bank fails, it's because it went woke. They embraced wokeology. They focused on ESG instead of banking shit, like you can't do two things at once. Plus, that's capitalism. Investing is capitalism. So capitalism is woke. They're ranting against what they're for. So capitalism is woke. Socialism is woke. Communism is woke. All these damn woke Marxist, socialist, commie capitalists ruining every damn thing. The NFL blackballed Colin Kaepernick because he went woke. But the NFL is also woke because it allowed the black national anthem to be sang at the Super Bowl. Former Alabama Congressman Mo Brooks stood on the podium January 6th in a windbreaker and Kevlar proclaiming that patriots needed to kick ass and take names. But a year later, he said we needed to focus on the midterm elections and not the 2020 election. And his Senate race tanked because that meant he went woke. I mean, if you don't fully buy in to the rhetoric, you went woke. And it doesn't matter if you're a fucking Cheney, one of the most influential conservative families in history. Once you go woke, your political career as a conservative, over. Garth Brooks went woke because he sang at Biden's inauguration. At the Super Bowl this year, everybody was praising Chris Stapleton's version of the national anthem. I mean, it brought tears to your eyes. It was the most patriotic version ever. A year earlier, those same people were saying Chris Stapleton went woke because he supported Black Lives Matter. Lord, if candy doesn't have at least one male on his packaging, if those M&Ms do not have a boy M&M on the wrapper, it went woke. And the people who cry about cancel culture will try to cancel M&Ms faster than you can say, what the fuck? Black Mermaid, woke. Gay Hobbit, woke. Black Hobbit, woke. A commercial showing two parents of the same gender, woke. A book about two male penguins raising a baby, woke. Pornographic and grooming. Medicine, woke. Vaccines, woke. Masks, woke. Star Trek, woke. Sesame Street, woke. Mr. Potato Head, woke. Dr. Seuss, woke. Doctor Who, Dr. Woke. Pizza Hut, woke. Disney, woke. Coke, woke. Delta Airlines, woke. Hollywood, woke. Woke as hell. I saw a post on Twitter saying that Pedro Pascal is a horrible actor. Now, maybe you think he is, I enjoy his work. Your opinion is your opinion. But the person who said this, his reasoning was because he had fell into this shameful modern woke age. Like, what? Literally, no matter what it is, if it's something they don't like, it's woke. And you can guarantee anything and everything that is on the left, that the left supports, that is associated with the left, is woke. And every person that doesn't fully buy in, that doesn't go along, that doesn't march to the same exact drum, well, they've gone woke too. It's simple. Say, this is what we're against. This one word. That is the enemy. This one word. And then you assign that word to everything you don't like. Everything that you deem is wrong. Everything that you deem the problem is. And that's all it takes. Because your job is to fight the woke. To never ever surrender to the woke. To not give in to the woke mob. Because woke must die. Woke is the enemy. And anything that is woke must be snuffed out. So if it's woke, it must die. It's simple. It's simply terrifying. It's the same blueprint the Germans used. Everything bad that happens, the German people were told it was because of the Jews. Every problem, every issue was blamed on the Jewish people. So to fix the problem, you must rid yourself of the problem. And we all see what happened. They tried. They tried really hard. But we just have to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because this time they've expanded that thought. It's not the Jews. It's not just a group of people. It's not just a religion or a race. It's woke. And woke can be anything and anyone. And they're ready and willing to take action. Because according to them, woke must die. Also, do you think it's a coincidence that anti-Semites are on the same side as the people who vow to fight the wokeology? It's almost like they're the same people. It's almost like it's the same idea, the same thing, the same hateful rhetoric and beliefs. But they're not the fascists. The ones who say they are Antifa, those are the real fascists. If only they wake up. Because they're too woke.